Sorry, I'm just going to sit
Hi.
right. Oh, right here, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We are backstage right now for the first time at the Palace Theater for our 13th Secret Star Acoustic Jam. We're getting ready to bring these guys out on stage to introduce you to GNA Nation. We're so excited. We're here with Gone West. I would say the best new vocal group out of Nashville.
Oh, wow. All right.
It's very exciting. And I have a lot of questions for you guys, but you have a very interesting dynamic. Now, you first got together touring for one of your albums, for the Malibu Sessions album. So how did you all meet? How did this all come together?
Well, about 14 years ago, Jason and I met, and we wrote my first album, Copa, together. And we became friends with Justin in LA. And then I asked him to join my band in 2007 for my first tour. After a few years of touring together, we fell in love, and we've been together 10 years now. While that was all happening, Jason moved to Nashville and met Nelly in a writing session.
So when I first met you, I was in a band called the Jane Deere
Yep,
Girls.
I recall.
And so Jason came out on a writing trip to Nashville, and Susie and I were his first co-write in Nashville. And it was love at first write for him.
Very nice.
Susie, I think, felt it, and she laughs about it still. We talk about it, but I fell in love a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we've been married.
But everyone's married, engaged.
8 years married now.
Wow.
He wins.
What's the dynamic like being on the road as a band and couples? I have to imagine that's very interesting.
Well, you have to, I mean, we all met working together first, then becoming friends, and then falling in love. So working together is all we know.
So it's natural.
Yeah.
It's completely natural.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing about this band too, and I almost feel like it plays into your sound a little bit because you're all from out west: Texas, Hawaii, Iowa, and California.
I gotta say, you know your facts.
So
you win.
And I kind of feel like with bands that come from that part of the country, there is this great vocal chemistry. Like I think of the Eagles, and it might sound crazy. I even think of a band like Van Halen. As hard rock as they are, they have this great vocal element to them that was really a trademark. How do you feel your backgrounds really play into who you are as a group?
That's a good question. Well, I grew up singing in choirs in Iowa. We had an incredible music program at my high school, and I even got to go sing in all the famous cathedrals in Europe during high school. And so I had a lot of training singing harmonies through that. And then when I met Colby, we started singing together, and we've been doing that for 14 or 15 years. And then with Justin for almost as long as that as well.
Yeah.
And then Nelly came into the picture 10 years ago. And so we've been singing together for a really long time. But how did your backgrounds lead you to doing this?
I think all of our influence, our musical influences, really helped shape how we all started writing songs. We all grew up listening to classic rock and Fleetwood Mac and Eagles and
Beatles
and Boys to Men. So all of that was vocal group, no matter what genre it was. And
yeah, I mean, I grew up doing Hawaiian music in 90s R&B, which is full of harmonies. So that is something that I've always loved, and it's fun to be in a band.
You ever break the ukulele out in this setting?
Not in this setting, but it's on the album.
Yeah, on the album.
There's some Hawaiian language on the album too. So.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the album because there's two things about Gone West that stands out to me. We talk about the vocals a lot, and I think the other thing too is lyrically, there's some powerful stuff going on. In your song This Time, I think it's kind of almost a cliche thing to mention Tom Petty in a song, but you guys did it in a way that just punched me in the heart. There's a heartbreak not to see Tom Petty. Where do the lyrical turns come from? The inspiration? Is it just things that pop in your head? Are they well thought out? Is it you guys bouncing ideas off each other?
Well, that song is 100% a true story because we actually got invited to go to a Tom Petty concert. I think it was tickets you had through a friend or something, and for whatever reason we didn't go. And then of course a few months later we found out that he had passed away, and we knew we wouldn't ever get that chance again, and so we were just obviously heartbroken. So that's really where that song derived from, was missing that concert.
I had the same thing happen here. We have a Taste of Country Music Festival that happens at a ski area nearby, and he played, this was literally 2 summers ago, or whatever, the summer right before he passed away.
Yeah.
And literally we had all kinds of tickets for him. You know what, I'll just go the next time. It's so true.
We do it all the time.
It's so true, you gotta seize the moment.
Yeah.
It really is crazy how one moment like that in life can just make you zoom out and think about everything, and I don't know, that song, I'm glad that you like it because it's one of our favorites to sing. And we're going to be doing it tonight.
You will be doing it tonight.
Yeah.
So you mentioned too all the different influences. Did you guys watch the Ken Burns country music documentary at all?
Not yet. I recorded
recording
it. That's 16 hours, so we haven't been home for 16 hours since it's come out.
My parents said it's incredible. They can't say enough good things about it, so.
Do you guys spend a lot of watching TV and those things on the road, or is it mostly you're just engulfed in your crafts writing songs?
We absolutely want
At night.
We all have iPads.
At the hotel we do, but it's
Like when I'm trying to fall asleep, he turns on the TV.
Do you each have a go-to Netflix or Hulu binge show?
Yes.
All around basically The Office.
The Office? I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Every night, literally every night.
Yeah,
it's on.
actually, Jenna and, well, I was going to say her real name, but I forget it. But
Angela.
Angela and Pam were on the Today Show today
Oh, yeah.
promoting their blog because it's a podcast, but they're going to talk about every episode apparently, and they're getting like the other characters on there, and that's going to be exciting because we're going to
Also,
learn other things.
Does anyone else feel like there's a Friends reunion coming up or something? Have you guys been seeing
There's
on
been a lot of
Instagram?
buzz on social media. Like Jennifer Aniston just started her own
Yeah.
Instagram and
Yeah.
had a photo of all them together.
If that happens, we will also be on that train.
You would be. So
At least her and I will.
You're game for the reboots.
Oh,
Definitely.
I am.
If they're good.
Like new plot
it's
lines.
scary
and-
for sure, but I mean, it's my favorite show
Yeah.
ever.
So Friends or The Office?
Yes.
Both.
Well, I would choose Friends, but Office is literally like
Because there's been rumors of an Office reboot coming too. I would
Whoa.
be totally on board with that.
really
Me too.
with
Yep.
Michael Scott.
But they have to bring Michael Scott
They
back.
have
though.
to.
He has to come back
Yeah.
in some manner.
I don't know
Yeah.
how you do that show without him.
I
Yeah.
don't think D'Angelo Vickers can make it. As much as I love Will Ferrell, we don't need him.
That was a
Yes.
question. They did trivia on the show today, and they remembered that, but that was really hard to remember
Yeah.
his name. They're like, "What is Will Ferrell's character?" And they're like,
We were even talking about it a few days ago. Like,
I know.
what was his name?
I don't know how I
D'Angelo
remember that. I don't remember
Vickers?
what I ate for lunch.
Yeah.
I can remember, Office quotes. I'm up and down. But going back to the Ken Burns documentary, I thought that was really interesting. I think it speaks a lot to where you guys are from. I think country music. I think everyone talks about country music and it's got to be pure, it's got to be country music. But I think that documentary was a great reminder. Country music since the 30s has been about influence from other genre. And how do your backgrounds, musically play into your sound a little bit?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I would say one thing that I haven't watched the Ken Burns thing yet. I don't know if he covers this, but I didn't know this until I moved to Nashville, that the steel guitar came from Hawaii to country
That's
music.
very interesting, yeah.
And the banjo came from Africa. So there are all these influences. It's not just completely grown in America. It was like everything else in this country, influenced from other people that came here and brought things and incorporated into what is now country music.
So I got to ask you, has anyone ever been a part of a show where it's been a secret lineup where it hasn't been announced? It's a pretty cool thing we do, right?
Yeah, it's really
I don't
cool.
think so. I
No,
think
I
this
don't
is
think
I feel like
so
my
this might
first.
be a first. Hopefully they're excited and they don't go wah wah.
Well, listen, I know GNA Nation, I know our fans, and they love great music, they love great singing, harmonies, vocals, great songs, and you guys have all those elements. So we expect you to hit it out of the park tonight. No pressure.
Amazing venue, by the way. Great popcorn.
Yeah.
It's been a great
That was
night already.
they came in and immediately, before they even said hello, they all started going, popcorn, popcorn,
We just
where's
smelled it even
popcorn?
hungry.
We
and
all
I'm
love
starving.
popcorn.
Yeah.
When you get off the bus, are you just itching for anything that's like outside the bus and it just hits you like that?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, real life things are nice.
You
Yeah.
don't have to be getting off a bus to smell popcorn and want terribly to eat popcorn right away.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like that's old school theater when you come to a music theater and
Absolutely.
they have the popcorn.
It's
Yeah.
the best.
We don't mess around in Albany. Well, Gone West, thank you so much for spending a few
Thanks,
minutes
Maddie.
with
Thank
me
you.
today. We're so looking forward to seeing you perform, and
Thank you.
I know our listeners, GNA Nation, is just going to love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Gone West.